Hello everybody and welcome to another great episode of Hillbilly Select Reviews. Tonight we are here with
Jim.
Now those of you who go way back, what will they know if these are some old time subscribers?
We started this years ago.
Right.
Just having fun around the dinner table. And you've taken off and...
Well, the main thing is going to recognize you.
Yeah.
As one of the original people on here. And long story short, we used to live basically in the same neighborhood. He moved away to basically Cincinnati. I'm from Louisville. And he has gotten a couple jobs and wasn't able to
continue on.
But
But you've done a great job.
But anyway, you all recognize Jim. Now, so what we got tonight, we got a La Posta, I'm sorry. We ate pasta tonight. La Posta 2008 Malbec. It's 60% Malbec, 20% Bonarda, and 20% Syrah. It's 13.5% ABV from Mendoza, Argentina. This is 10 years old. So what we did, we took this. I'm gonna show you how we did it here. To speed up the aeration because it's been basically cooped up for 10 years in here. And when we opened it up, the one thing I was looking at was the cork, and I didn't see where the red line from the wine didn't come up toward the top. That's one sign that it's compromised, right, where the air's gotten into it. It had a nice pop. It is got a brownish tint to it, but there is red around the rim, and it's not the kind of brown that denotes that it's spoiled, that I know from experience. So what we did was we put it through this aerator a few times, and we've had this open now for about 20 minutes. And originally it did smell kind of skunky and like an old cellar, but now we're starting to get some fruit, and that's what I was wanting. So let's see now what we got.
This had been downstairs in the basement, storing and basically forgotten about. So we pulled it out, and I was like, wow. The first one we tried was from 2001, and it was no good. So this is a little bit closer. And
one thing I like when I do come over, Jim likes to impress me with his wine. So he goes down in the cellar, he starts digging around, and every once in a while he'll find something that's been down there 18 years that he forgets about because he doesn't rotate it like I told him. He buys new stuff, he put it in, and I look in the back and I find all this stuff from 10, 12, 20 years ago, 18 years ago. So I got rid of that 18 year for you.
Mm-hmm.
That was an original Lodi, though, before it was famous. All right, so this now, what I'm getting is some like dried fruit. Like if you open up the bag of dried fruit, figs and stuff, and even with the whole bag, like a little bit of the plastic, the dried fruit, the whole 9 yards of basically sticking your nose in a bag of dried fruit, plastic bag of dried fruit.
You're much better at smelling things than I am, but
you smell. What do you smell?
I smell like I don't know how to describe stuff, but I smell like tannins type of smell.
Well, what you probably didn't smell is the yolk.
That's what I'm smelling.
And you can smell the oak or the wood smell.
Yeah,
and that's what helps save this, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, tannin is one of the things that preserves wine. Tannin, acid, sugar, and alcohol content combination of those.
And what was this?
Well, this wasn't high in the alcohol. It was 13.5, which isn't necessarily
average.
High. It's not high in the sugar, but it's high in the tannin.
Okay.
Probably haven't tasted it. But you're smelling that wood. So tannin comes from the wood. It also comes from the grapes and the skins being in contact with the wine. So you got that dried fruit out of a plastic bag. A little bit of mustiness, woodsy smell, would you say?
Yep.
And then you can smell the oak or the wood or the cedar, however you want to describe that
something
wood.
Like.
So let's give it a taste.
Tasted it. It wasn't hateful.
Mm-mm.
I was really worried about it was not going to be good at all, especially after you initially opened it up.
It's got a high acid. You feel acid on the side of the tongue.
Yep.
That helps save this. It does have a high tannin because you can taste that's on the top of the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
That taste you get when you drink tea.
But do you think it's really saved? I mean, would you want to drink the whole bottle of this, you think?
Yeah, I'll drink.
You would?
Mm-hmm.
This may be the oldest one I've ever drank.
No. We've drank older before. Yeah, so I taste the tannin, and I taste the dried fruit. And I see that it's medium to high acid, medium to high tannin. You got the woody taste. You got the almost like a it just reminds me of a cherry cordial, like a liqueur, kind of a cherry liqueur.
I could see that.
But it's not. This is not a fruity wine, or at least at this point, it's not. I told you it does have that taste of dried fruit, but it's really subdued under the wood and the tannin and the woodsy taste.
Is a Malbec supposed to be fruity?
Well, a newer one, I'll always taste the different
okay,
fruits.
I got you.
I don't taste. Now, let me ask you this, because a lot of times you'll. Do you taste any? And just think about it. Do you taste any chocolate or cocoa? Give it a taste and tell me.
I don't. I'm not the greatest taster, though.
Well, I may taste.
I do taste fruits, though.
The fruits are coming. See, now the more air it gets, and the more
Right.
it's going to start coming up. I do taste like if you take the cocoa powder, the bitter, like the dark
Yep.
baking cocoa. I can start to taste that now. This thing will change over time here.
I do taste the fruits now. And it tastes a lot better than when I first sipped it. A lot. 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. And sometimes I like this. I get so many fruity wines and light wines. Sometimes I like one more in the old world style with the barnyard and the leaves and the cigar box. And sometimes I'll say cigar box because it's not only the wood or the cedary wood, but then you get like a tobacco. And so it kind of tastes like a cigar box with smell. And I think that would be a good descriptor of this as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
So it was fun. We should have aired the one where we did the whole process with the one that was 18 years old. It was bad.
Yeah,
But it would've been
well, let's put it this way: the cork broke in half.
That's true. That was a sign. That was a
That
bad
was
sign.
the first sign that we had that
That wasn't
was
good.
not going to
Yeah.
be good. The first sign really was it was 18 years old, and it wasn't really a wine. Wasn't that like a Zinfandel? Does Zinfandel normally age really well?
Well, sometimes you can get a Zinfandel that has the higher alcohol. It'll have like 15%.
Okay.
But this one was low. It was I think that was a 13.9.
And it wasn't stored. They
I don't know
were
if it
stored
was
up
old.
and down.
Yeah, and you had moved with that one.
Yep.
So, But anyway, yeah, the
So-
minute the cork crumbled, I knew we were in trouble. Poured like a brown sherry.
Yeah, I didn't even take a sip
But
of
this,
that.
no, we'll finish this. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. And
Nice seeing y'all again.
I doubt you're going to find a 2008 La Posta, but anyway, you got it here. So from Hillbilly Select Reviews, everybody, cheers.
Cheers.